Alderman Orge,
Here.
Alderman Losh, here. Alderman Campbell,
Yes.
Alderman Bushman. We have a quorum. So Resolution 97, a resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Sparta, Missouri, approving the following appointments to the Sparta Park Board. Do we have a list?
It's on the resolution.
Oh,
And you might let them know that everybody turned in applications.
I have that. That everybody did turn in applications?
I
So,
did
yes.
not get one from Val. but you
Yes,
said
I have
you
that.
did. You
Yeah,
have
that's
that.
in my email.
I've
Do we
seen,
vote on these one at a time, or do we vote on them as a whole?
As a whole.
That means Jim can't vote.
Correct. So basically, everybody that was on the park board wants to stay. Mr. Porter, he's having a little bit of health issues right now, so, yeah, so we may end up needing to swap him out at some point, but everybody just wants to stay and keep their positions.
Other than him, has the rest of them already been on there?
He has two. Yeah, they've all been on there. That's who's been on there for the last year.
These are all the same ones that's
Same ones.
been there for years.
I make a motion to accept the park board appointees.
we have to do it by. put it on its
Resolution
first
number.
reading. Yeah, resolution number, put it on its first reading. We have to do it on the second final.
Yes, so we just need to make a motion to put resolution 97 on its first reading by title and description only.
I make a motion to put resolution 97 on the first reading by title and description only.
The second.
And we need a second.
Okay, I make a motion to put resolution 97 on its second and final reading by title.
I'm sorry, just second his motion.
Oh, second it, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Just say, I second the motion.
Oh, I second the motion.
All right, Alderman Orge makes a motion to put resolution 97 on its first reading by title and description only. Alderman Losh, second the motion. Alderman Orge?
Yes.
Alderman Losh?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Abstain.
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 Thank you.
Alderman Bushman? So do I have to break that one? So it's a 2 and 2.
Yeah.
I approve.
Make a motion for second.
Second and final reading. Let's make a motion to put resolution 97 on its second and
I
final.
make a motion for resolution 97 on the second and final reading by the title and description only.
I second the motion.
Alderman Orge makes a motion to put resolution 97 on its second and final reading by title and description only. Alderman Losh, second the motion. Alderman Orge?
Yes.
Alderman Losh?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Abstain.
Alderman Bushman? Resolution 97, a resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Sparta, Missouri, approving the following appointments to the Sparta Park Board. Just need a motion to adopt it.
I make a motion to adopt 97, title and description only.
I can second the motion.
Alderman Orge makes a motion to adopt resolution 97 by title and description only. Alderman Losh, second the motion. Alderman Orge?
Yes.
Alderman Losh?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Abstain.
Alderman Bushman? I will approve. Resolution 97 has been adopted. Approved. So discussion and approval of the plat for the Sparta Business Center, Business and Event Center. Do we have a little, do we have any public comments?
That's all we have.
Choices.
that I know.
Okay, so we don't have a little. Okay, so this is what we did over at the event center. Is we basically took this portion and we broke this portion out. So this portion keeps the grassy area, it keeps our siren, it keeps our back entrance, so that we have this. So we're breaking the two into two different plats. So what we will sell or auction off will be this,
East side,
east side. Mhm.
I make a motion to approve the plat for
So we're
the city
Keeping this
business event center.
and that's.
What Mrs. doing is trying to keep that area where she put in that.
We have the grassy area where we have the picnic tables and whatnot,
Oh, yeah.
and then we have the storm centers. Alderman Orr makes a motion to approve the plat for the Business and Event Center. Alderman Campbell, second the motion. Alderman Orr?
Yes.
Alderman Losh?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell?
Yes.
Alderman Bushman? The plat for the Sparta Business and Event Center is approved. Discussion to approve to auction the Sparta Business and Event Center. So once we vote on it tonight, I can contact Noel. He will give us whatever we need to go ahead and let the auctioneer take it from here. We probably need to agree on a price, a minimum starting.
Yeah, that's what he asked. That's what he asked. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We probably won't know until tonight.
I would assume that we would want to start it at 250. I mean, my honest opinion, if we started at 200, I think it'll go over 250. Because there are going to be people that are going to be interested in buying it, and they know that that's a steal. But we can start the minimum bid at 250 and go down if we need to. I mean, the auctioneer is going to know more about that. But as far as making a profit on it, I don't see that happening. We're just going to have to cut our losses and take what we got in it for the 245. 245 is what we purchased it for, correct? So that's what we're trying to get out of it, is at least the 245.
Plus another 15,000 that you paid out that you didn't get repaid for.
If we can, but like I said, my thing right now is just to stop the bleeding, so we may have to,
Yeah,
take our
plus-
loss and cut it off.
Yeah,
Do you
plus
have any idea how much AC work and stuff it's gonna be yet?
it's
Well, over
14,800.
Yeah, there's 2 units. Yep. A 3-ton and a 4-ton. If we keep it and sell it, we have to put in the money to fix any repairs that need to be repaired.
Well, there's a lot over there that needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
We auction it, it is as is. And we walk away.
I make a motion to approve the auction of the Sparta Business Event Center.
I'll second.
For 250,000 start.
Yeah, we'll do 250 to start.
Okay.
Well, I guess you can start.
Yeah, and if we have to back down, we can back down, but
You just have to get with him. Usually Roger, he'll usually, this is how he usually will cut it. He'll say, we're gonna start at a price and don't expect me to go down. So, but you'll have to get
Okay.
with him and let him know what you for sure,
I mean, we can start at 2. I definitely, I mean,
and then go up.
yeah, we can't go below 2. I wouldn't do that. That'd be taking a massive loss. But we can start at 2 and go up from there. Like I said, my goal is to get 245. My goal.
Well, I don't know if he's already run them or not, but I think he was running comps on that, on things that's been sold. And like I told him, I said, the senior center across the street from it just sold for 300,000. And he said, well, that'll help. That helps a lot. And he was gonna look at any more businesses close there in the vicinity or around in the area that sold what they brought. And he said, then you can kind of determine. But, anyway, on the, he said, don't advertise this. But he normally gets 6%.
Okay.
But he said that for city, he'd do it for 3%.
Okay.
And the advertising, he said the advertising, and they'll do a lot of advertising. It'll be heavy advertising. It'll go everywhere, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I think it'll end up going, I think he advertises for California everywhere.
Okay.
Advertise everywhere on the internet. But he said the advertising for that. Now, I don't know, I didn't think to ask him if the advertising comes out of the 3% or if that's extra. I don't know. I probably need to find out for sure.
Yeah, Misty, can you guys make like a motion? I don't know who Roger is, what company it is, but.
Mountain
like-
Auction Company.
Melted?
Mountain. Do you say Mount? Melton.
If you guys could
Melton.
make, if you guys could make a motion like to use him, after you guys set a price, and then, have one of you guys get with him so that you can you can find the specifics of what needs to be done.
Okay.
Well, I was just trying to explain what he had told me that council needed to know, before. Okay.
But yeah, so if you just want to make a motion to auction it using Melton Auction,
I make a motion that we use Melton Auction Company and Realty. It's Melton Auction and Realty Company, I believe is how it's listed. I'm real sure, but I think that's how it is.
I'll second it.
To be the auctioneers for the Sparta Business Event Center.
okay, Alderman Campbell makes a motion to approve auctioning Sparta Business and Event Center using Melton Auction and Realty Company with a starting bid at $250,000. Alderman Orge, second the motion. Alderman Orge,
Yes.
Alderman Losh,
Yes.
Alderman Campbell,
Yes.
Alderman Bushman. To auction the Sparta and Business and Event Center is approved. All right, discussion and approval of the 2024-2025 budget.
I put the tabs on each area, like the first tab will be the general fund, then the water fund, then the sewer fund, and then the police fund. Police chief has asked to speak on behalf of his budget before decisions are made.
Would you like to go ahead and?
That's up to you.
Yeah, come on.
All right, thank you for letting me speak for just a couple minutes before you make your decisions on the budget for next year. My officers have asked me to come before you guys and ask them some questions. So before I get into that question, I want you to remember that several years ago, the Board of Aldermen allowed us to do raises based off your merit, not based off longevity. Meaning, you got a job performance or evaluation before the end of the year, and that would break down into a percentage, and you would get a raise based off of that, what your job performance was over that year. So for the fiscal year 2023-2024, we would have spent, we have five raises would be $5,680. That's how much raises will be for officers for that time. They asked me to come to you guys and to ask a specific question for your consideration. They have asked me to crunched some numbers, and instead of giving them raises for this fiscal year, he would allow them to take cars home instead of raises. So what I did is I went through and I broke down how many miles each officer drives, how much miles per gallon each car gets, and the breakdown is this. Sergeant Blackburn drives 20 miles round trip. That's not far, that's round trip for him. We work with 4 10-hour shifts, so they work 200 days out of the year. 200 days times 20 hours, and I'm just gonna break it down the first time, and then we'll tell you the numbers for each officer after that. So 20 miles times 20 days per year, his raise would be, if we took, this is only the cost of fuel, would be $705.88. For the amount of miles that he would travel, it would cost 1 extra oil change per year, which was $120. So Sergeant Blackburn would be getting a raise by taking a car home of $825. If we give him a raise for what we discussed, that his raise would be $1,435 per year. So his raise would be lower than because of his less miles of the ribbon. Officer Usher drives 32 miles round trip. Her cost would be $1,129.41 plus 1 oil change. And then Officer O'Malley lives the farthest away. He lives in Republic, and his miles are. His expense would be, his raise would be $2,047, and it would cost 2 oil change. So out of the $5,680 that would go towards raises, the amount of fuel and oil changes plus 2 sets of tires is less than the raises that they will incur by taking home or by giving them more money. So the ask is, and total for fuel is $3,882.29. Oil changes is $480, and 2 sets of tires is $1,200, which adds up to $5,680, which is exactly how much the raises would be if we give them a raise instead of take-home cars. So my question for you is just that. Will you, as a board of aldermen / mayor, consider that as an option instead of salaries increases? So that's my question to you to consider before we get into the budget, of approving the budget. Currently, Becky has put the budget together as if the raises were, they stay his current salary and take-home cars. If, depending on which way you vote or decide, then that the amount of fuel and the amount of vehicle maintenance would rotate into salaries. It'll all average out based off of the budget that's in front of you. Does that make sense, or muddy water, or what?
Makes perfect sense.
Okay. So if you have questions, I will ask, or I'll have someone ask, please go ahead.
So out of the smaller cities, I know that, is there a Clever one?
Clever, in Christian County, Clever, they take home cars, yes.
Is that the only other one?
Ozark and Nixa both have take-home cars for command staff, but as for everyday officers, they have 35, 40 officers, they do not do that. Christian County Sheriff's Office, they do, they take home cars, so it all depends on where you're at, what your goals are.
So this is starting to become pretty norm now, correct?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I said this is kind of starting to become the norm for,
At the last police chiefs meeting we had, which we have a police chief, Southwest police chiefs meeting once a month. I brought this up 2 months ago, so April. I talked to him in April about this exact same thing. Battlefield has take-home cars. There are not a lot of agencies that do. It's probably 70-30 as far as who does not compared to who does, as far as police departments.
y'all have any questions?
Well, my concern is when we wear cars out, driving them back and forth home, and, you know, I mean, you're looking at the city paying for fuel. We've already got one that's going to Avon back every day,
Yes, sir.
and, in my opinion, I think that's enough. That's me, that's my opinion.
I will also tell you this, we're talking about counting me driving home 4, not 6. We have 6 patrol cars, 2 sets here in town in Austin, just in case we have breakdowns, malfunctions, whatever the case may be. Those 2 cars, one of those is the 2018 Ford Explorer, the silver one. It has right at 90,000 miles on it. And the second one that stays here in town all the time is a 2022, and it has approximately 8,000 miles on it. They say, I say set here, Billy, Officer Kostakis, whenever he's on duty, he uses the 2022 Ford Explorer. So we have cars sitting in reserve. We have done a good job of building up our vehicles so that we are managing the best that we possibly can. Either way you go, it'll be in your budget. The dollar amount for our total budget will not change. The only part of it will change will be vehicle fuel maintenance and, or salaries.
I mean, I don't see a problem with it only because it is a perk of the job. If you were to go that way, that's my opinion.
That will be up to you guys to make that decision. If you have any questions, I'll be back in my spot.
Thank you, sir.
Tax. Can't think of the word I'm looking for.
I know what you're saying. So take-home cars, if we go that route. So if they get increases, we have to match all the taxes and all that. So it actually ends up costing kind of more so than the take-home cars. So that's kind of what I was looking at. Is that what you were getting around to?
Yeah, I didn't even think how to, I didn't even
So
think.
the withholdings and stuff that we have to match, that we have to,
Withholdings, yeah.
that we have to match for, not Social Security, but federal taxes, state taxes.
What will that do for insurance?
Changes nothing on insurance.
Stuff.
It's a fleet, it's a fleet policy. Does absolutely nothing on the miles you drive. Personal vehicles, if you drive less than 5 miles to and from work, or if it's a pleasure car, makes a huge difference. On fleet vehicles, makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. I was actually an insurance agent for 15 years.
Well, and I called Mo Perm when you guys had decided for Trampus to take one home. I needed to make sure that wouldn't affect if something happened. And
We
if-
decided to do that, but he took the brand new one though to do that with, and then didn't want, you know, letter it or anything. It just kind of, it didn't set good with me. I don't like that. So,
I'm just telling you what
I
I
know,
did.
that's fine. I have a little bit of a problem with Trampus anyway, because he came to my house in my driveway, mouthing at me because I was just doing and following up on my job, what I was voted to do. People come to me and ask me why. And-
What are we talking about?
and
Before we get into that, I want to get into the middle of this. It sounds like we're talking about something that I think your house is referring to.
Do what?
What are we referring to? What did I come to your house talking about?
Back when you was working at the school,
Exactly.
and I had people come to me and ask me, why is our police chief working at the school? So I came and asked Becky. Becky explained to me why.
Where'd you go before that? You went over to the school and you talked to the
And then
superintendent.
I went to the school and asked the girls over there if you were working over there.
I did work over there. That's my time. I can do what I want to with.
Just like I tried to tell you though, when you got smart with me. I tried to tell you, I said, Trampus, all I'm doing is doing what people has asked me. I'd already found out why and what was going on. I had dropped the whole thing, but then you showed up in my driveway, you know, mad, and if I would have been there the first time you was there, there'd probably been problems, because you was mad.
I was.
And,
You
but,
could
you
come
know,
to me
what am I
and ask
supposed to do? I'm voted in here to watch after, and people come and ask questions. What am I supposed to do?
As a department head,
Just push
you
it
should come
off?
talk to me and ask those questions. Not go to the school.
I went to
district on
who I
Friday.
thought I should go to first, which was Becky, was the first one. I think
And I
came
couldn't,
asked.
and I couldn't.
Becky explained to me what was going on. And I had asked the girls over there, and they said, yes, you were working part-time. And I was fine with that. And because
Apparently
Becky
not.
told me it
We
was
have
on
a
your,
discussion
it was on your
later.
time.
You're gonna have that later.
Pardon?
Apparently not, we wouldn't be having this discussion in a month, a year and a half.
We're not
later.
having a discussion on it, it's just, I just, you know. When you're supposed to do your job, then you do your job, and everybody doesn't like it, but, you know, you have to do it anyway. And when I followed up with what was asked of me, I found out what was going on, and I dropped it. But that wasn't good enough.
Yeah, but we can't run a board off of past experiences and personal feelings. So we have to bring it back in, and this is based off of what is best for the community. Not what's best for chief, not what's best for any of that. So let's get back to the budget.
I'm good with that.
Okay. So he's asked a question, if the Board of Aldermen would approve or disapprove take-home vehicles. So we need to figure that in prior to voting on it.
In my opinion, I don't believe, this is me, and I don't believe vehicles ought to be driven home because it's gonna end up putting too many miles on them. And, it's like the chief said, I mean, you've got a good fleet, and I don't really want to see a lot of miles put on them. And that's what's gonna happen. That's my thought. That's just me.
And that's fine. I would like to hear everybody's opinion. That way we can figure out what's best and vote on it. Do you have an opinion? I know you're kind of new to all this, but we all have opinions, right?
Well, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. And if it's gonna cost us more money for the taxes and stuff, I mean, you know, the wages and the withholding, and if it equals out, then, I don't know, I guess I don't see a problem with it, but.
What's your opinion, sir? What's your opinion? We know you have one too. anybody have any questions on any of the other budgets?
That's, I was just going to ask if you could ask that so I could explain if they had any questions.
And if we need to put the take-home vehicles on next month's agenda, we can do that too.
I'll have to do something with my budget though.
You need to figure out tonight.
Yes, because it's figured, right now, the way the budget is set up with take-home.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do that, we're gonna have to prove it without take-home, which I have to take that money out and put it
Okay.
back into salaries. So they
Which
could,
which
what,
would we benefit more from?
Benefit more from? Benefit more from?
Yeah.
Financially and keeping our staff,
Yeah.
take home.
All right, on our, on our taxes. What would it make any difference?
The take home, there would be none,
I know,
because that's gonna be all fuel.
but what I,
Do you have the dollar amount as far as withholdings and stuff?
no,
You've not
because our
figured-
withholdings will change again.
Yeah. So the withholdings will change again, so Becky doesn't have all those calculations yet. But just on the fuel and their pay, not anything else. We come out better with them taking home. So the withholdings is only gonna add to the negativity
well,
on,
let me ask you this. When I'm breaks down, what we gonna do?
we got 2 extra. And then that would be in their budget for maintenance and repair on the vehicles. My biggest thing is, you kind of have to make a point. So the school here decided to go to 4-day work weeks to retain the good teachers, to compete with the surrounding schools. So Sparta kind of went along with that. And so we're hoping that will retain the good teachers. We're hoping that that will keep us, where we need to be so that we don't lose the good, the good ones.
That were our federal money.
And this is kind of the same thing. Because some of these guys that drive in from Nixon or wherever, if they were to get a job offer that, let's say, didn't offer the take-home car and that was a perk here, we would hope that that would keep them here as a perk, if that makes sense. And financially, to pay more money out, that's just hurting the city, where we could do the take-home cars. I understand cars breaking down, but, you could drive one for 300,000 miles, you could drive one for 20,000 miles, and the 20,000 mile won't break down. So it's the quality of the car, not necessarily the wear and tear on it. Because I don't see our guys humping up and down the road, speeding like crazy. And with their program, they actually, because I've ridden along a couple times, so their program, they can actually see where every car is. So if there's anybody running around doing things they shouldn't, they can monitor that.
I'll make a motion to put it on next month's agenda.
Well, that's what Becky was
We
saying.
can't.
That's why I was asking her. We can't.
We can't because we have to have our budget approved by July 1st. I even checked, I made sure I checked with the auditors, our state Secretary of State's office, and I checked with our auditors, and they said we have to have a budget, new budget by July 1st, or we cannot write out any checks, bills, or anything.
I'll make a motion to let them drive them home. I don't really like it, but it's financially better to let them do that than it is give them the raises.
Would agree with that.
Jared, can I ask a question? Are you approving the general sewer and water for me, or,
I can't hear you, baby.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so what we're doing is if you agree with that, my understanding, it's in the budget
It's in
as
there.
that.
Yeah, as that right now.
So what we need to do is just approve the 2024, 2025 budget,
As
and that will approve all of them. It'll approve the general, the water, the sewer, and the PD. So just make a motion to approve the 2024, 2025 budget as is. Because they have it in here as take-homes.
I'll make a motion to approve the 24-25 budget.
I second the motion.
Alderman Orge makes a motion to approve the 2024, 2025 budget. Alderman Losh, second the motion. Alderman Orge?
Yes?
Alderman Losh?
Yes.
Alderman Campbell? Alderman Bushman? The mayor approves. The 2024, 2025 budget is approved as is. Okay, discussion and approval of project invoice number 2 for the TAP grant. So basically, this is for the second round, correct, Becky?
This is, sorry guys, hold on, let me get to that page. This is the one they're working on from,
Vanilla Bean?
yeah, coming
One
up.
okay.
It's phases that they're doing, and this is the second invoice they've requested.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the,
It should have a tab on it.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the,
Last one,
Yes, that's it, right there.
they need to be looking at this right here. This is what the request is for right now,
Okay,
because they have to list a bunch of the other stuff in here right now.
okay.
That's what MoDOT requires. That's how come we had trouble getting them together.
So this is just the main page, and they're
Yeah,
looking,
just the main page, and the specifics are broke down for the actual,
okay. So is this the reimbursement portion?
yes.
Okay, so we have to pay the $5,950?
MoDOT pays
No.
3,813, we pay the 2,145.
Okay,
Right now, we're paying, not the engineers, we're paying LPA, the consultant services, getting everything ready for the bids to go out so that we can get bids for you guys to approve for like the building of the
Sidewalk,
sidewalk, the format, what do you call those that you put up?
forms.
Forms, thank you.
okay.
That's where we're at right now. I don't know this stuff. Yeah, so all that will be out is the 2,000, well, we're not gonna be out it, but that'll come out of our street account for our sidewalk. The 2,145.18, because MoDOT will send us the other amount.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve project invoice number 2, TAP grant 9901.
I second the motion.
Okay, Alderman Orge makes a motion to approve project invoice number 2, TAP Grant 9901. Alderman Losh. Second the motion, Alderman Orge.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Bushman. Project invoice number 2 is approved. I believe that is it, guys.
That is it, unless there's any miscellaneous, I didn't have anything to put on there that.
We just adjourned.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Alderman Orge makes a motion to adjourn. Alderman Campbell second the motion. Alderman Orge.
Yes.
Alderman Losh.
Yes.
Alderman Campbell.
Yes.
Alderman Bushman. The the regular legislative session of June 25th, 2024 adjourns at 6:42 PM.